Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades. I'm doing a little bit of an update here. I've been sick the past couple of days. Also, I've been on vacation, so it's been a little bit hard trying to get this setup going back on my laptop, but I managed to get it going once again. And overall, the market push continues to go higher right now, and market seems almost unstoppable. It almost seems like, and again, this is due to a lot of factors. You got light volume, you got potentially lower interest rates coming, you got inflation numbers theoretically coming down, right? So again, this is all for a catalyst for a potential melt up, and it is happening, right? We are long term probably going to be very bearish on the markets as we finish this topping phase in the market. And I have targets here for SPY to go at 510 to as high as 540, and then get a very big reversal back down, which should end up coming back down to the 350s or even 320s, or who knows where the market's going to take us next year in 2024. But I'm going to be doing my 2024 outlook tomorrow. Today, I'm just going to be doing another market update. We're going to be covering individual names. We're going to be taking a look at our count, if anything has changed. And overall, right now, it's holiday seasons, right? And we are in the end of the year, so you're not going to see too much selling, in my opinion. If anything, you should see that coming into January, potentially the second half of January. And right now, we got this small little dip the other day, and that was enough to reset all the stochastics, and now you're just getting another float higher, right? Although when we take a look at wave edge, we are getting consistent selling happening here at the highs, which is not too surprising as the S&P 500 nears the all-time highs, right? Which would be potential double top. A lot of people are still thinking that this is a possible expanded flat and that we are going to come back down in a very dramatic fashion, which is possible. But invalidation point would be once you go past 4,900 on the S&P 500, you have to factor in the fact that we are going to just keep going higher. And by that point, you're not going to get much more of an upside move once you stop out at 490, right? So again, do whatever you want, but this is what I just see on the markets right now. The dollar coming back down is definitely helping the markets, although today we did find some support. As you guys can probably tell, previous pivots holding as support today and bouncing on the dollar in oversold condition and helping the equities come down just a little bit, right? Nothing too crazy. It was actually, we actually had a positive day in the markets. We ended fractionally on the positive side. Let's take a look at some individual names very quickly, and we'll take a look at market cipher. But I wanted to cover ROKU because ROKU has been following our count very nicely. So right now, ROKU could be finishing up in a B wave, or the B wave can extend just a little bit higher. You do have a gap fill here, I believe. Let me just get on the daily. You do have a gap fill right here. So if that fills the gap on ROKU, then you could start to come back down. And then I have the buy area outlined here in wave 2, which would be around $77.80 to $70. That should be your area to potentially start accumulating for a next wave up in wave 3. And then this would also follow with the Russell 2000 potentially continuing to melt up into this resistance zone. And who knows, maybe you could even make another all-time high in the Russell. But once everyone gets on one side of the train and you see that CNBC is saying to go all in, things like that, then that's going to be your sign that a top is in and we are going to get a very dramatic drop in the markets. But let's focus on the positive right now, and that the market continues to float up, and it's following our count. But this could end at any moment. And we look at the daily on the MACD, it is on the verge of crossing back down and the potential sell signal. So don't be too surprised if we get a final pop tomorrow into our last trading day of the year. And then we get some selling come January or 2024 first month of the year. Let's take a look at Starbucks here. Whoops, I'm just moving my chart there. Let's see, take a look at Starbucks. So Starbucks, actually had a nice little day today, up 67 basis points. It remains. There's actually a drop in another area of support that I would have liked to see Starbucks tag, which is between 93.70 to 91.85, or basically 91.90 or something like that, 90 or 92. Sorry. After that, excuse me, I would have liked to see that drop and then a final pop up into a wave two. And then after that, you would run into this resistance area between 101 to 103. And then you should start to come back down in a wave three. But if it wants to go back up now, not opposed to that at all. We could take a look at the 4 hour. You already have bullish divergence, and it can actually continue. You can actually get that drop, and the bullish divergence can continue, right? So we'll have to monitor this one, but things are looking quite good for Starbucks. Nothing to complain about. Let's take a look here at a couple more names. Let me take a look at NVDA. I am sick, so this is a bit of a struggle, but I can get this video out no problem. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA remains in this wave two. It is struggling, right? Like all the mega caps right now, they're kind of like just fizzling out of steam, except for maybe Tesla. Tesla actually had a pretty decent sized drop today. But NVIDIA, it should be finishing this wave two. If it wants to keep extending the fifth wave, not going to complain about that, but it could probably go to 560, maybe even 600. After that point, you could start to finally fizzle out with the S&P 500 of 510 to 540. But overall, you should be coming back down in a wave three. Maybe this is wave two at the moment. So you have your first impulsive wave 1, 2, and then you should be coming down in a 3 of 3, right? Which would come in line with a pullback in the markets and possibly the dollar getting a bounce as well, right? Which would mean potential, retrace in the market, a buying opportunity into a final push higher. Okay, so something like this. Let me just get an ABC correction. So something like that, where you come back down, and then you probably finish up around 97 to 96. That's probably when you're going to find some major support for the dollar. After that, you can get a very big reversal and possibly another all-time high in the DXY. All right, let's take a look here at Apple. Oh man, my back is killing me. Apple right now is coming back down just a little bit. It came back down into the support area and actually retagged this area of resistance that I had as support, and it's bouncing back up. Stochastics are reset on the daily, so Apple can technically go higher, although it is long in the tooth. So I'm just watching it closely. I don't really like it for a trade anymore. If it manages to break below this pivot, then you could start the potential C leg here, which would be, maybe it doesn't do a C leg and it just extends the B wave higher, and this would be, just another wave up, an extension of the V wave, and you would do another expanded flat. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's take a look at oil here. So oil is following this wave three very, very nicely. Now, so you could be potentially in wave 1. So it appears that wave 1 could have started here, and where it's going to end, maybe pretty soon. Looking at the 4 hour, you might get a bounce back up. I would assume that you would tag maybe the 69 level or the 70 level once again. And once you do that, then you can do a wave 2 retrace in a 3 of 3, right? And that's when oil is going to get its big push down. Let's take a look here at, so the oil's looking really good. Natural gas, so natural gas actually perking up very nicely. Looks like it's just faded the lows and it's getting ready to make another push higher. If that's the case, maybe oil is finished, right? So if nat gas firms up and comes all the way back up, maybe that'll be a sign for oil that maybe it's bottomed out and this leg here won't happen, and you're just going to push higher and extend the X wave. Right, so that's all a possibility, but for now we're going to focus on the current count that we got going on. Gold, so gold's actually looking quite nice. Gold piercing the not piercing the all-time highs, but put a daily close above $2,073, and then it closed back down today. But gold is, gold trading at these highs tells you that there's something definitely wrong in the economy, right? If the inflation was back to zero and everything was fine, and that there was no problems in the future, gold would be back at 1,200. But it's not. It's making new all-time highs. So it tells you there's significant inflation ahead of us, and it's going to come back. It's going to come back in a very unfortunate fashion. All right, let's take a look. Maybe that's just a few more things here. Sorry, I keep sniffing because I have a cold. I'm sick. So let's cover here the S&P finally on Market Cipher. So Market Cipher is showing an extension of the fifth wave here, and that it could finish at any moment. But when you look at the larger time frames, like the monthly, it is showing an extension in the B wave, right? And the B wave could finish unless you make a new all-time high, which means you're extending this wave higher in the fifth wave. And that if that's the case, you are going to do this discount right here, which is a new all-time high to 508. It's showing 508 here. I have it as 510, so it's pretty close, and then it's showing as high as 600. But I don't know if that's going to be attainable. When you look at the money flow on Market Cipher, it's definitely continuing up. It's expanding in the green. You got momentum waves coming up. But if you make a higher high and you go to like 510 and you make a lower high on the momentum waves, then you have massive bearish divergence on the weekly. And that'll be probably a really great short opportunity that we're going to be looking to get into. Weekly, nothing to complain about. After we got that green cross on the weekly, the market's been moving up nonstop. After these red weekly crosses, we saw some pretty significant downside coming. I know this red cross actually played out a little bit before we had another melt up. And again, markets can change directions on news, right? And I think we had some really great news about, inflation coming down and stuff like that. So that's why the market melted up in the summer. Nothing on too much on the daily here. We take a look at the Qs quickly. Qs, we actually got some selling on the daily here in a large amount of volume. IWM, we've been getting quite a bit of selling lately. And then looking at the Dow Jones making all-time highs as well, and getting some selling. We can look at the smaller time frames. You're getting a lot of big money starting to take profits here into the end of the year. But we're not enough to push the markets down. So maybe we're going to get more selling into January of next year. And then we're going to be getting our buying opportunity, right? So anything, as long as we maintain above 453, 460, then that's going to be just a buy the dip opportunity for a continued push higher. And I know the markets may be delusional, but they can remain delusional for quite a bit of time until they realize what's actually going on. And by that time, it's too late. And then that's when everyone tries to get out of the market all at once, which causes market crashes, right? So when everyone rushes out of the door all at once, that's your cue that you were right about the economy, but the market can do other things other than what the economy is doing. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll do another update tomorrow. Peace.